Hi all and welcome to my session. So today we are going to talk about one of the very less talked about OOPS concept, but it is used very widely, and that particular concept is called as the abstract class. So if I talk about the abstract class in very plain terms, so you think that or you imagine that you are driving a car. Now you use the accelerator inside the car, you use the brakes, you use the clutch, and you use a lot of things like your windshield wipers, you use the rear view mirrors, you use the indicators, but you do not use the engine directly, right? You do not know how the fuel is mixing with the air and how the engine creates power. That is all not known to you, but anyways, that's not required for you. All you need to know is, you need to know where your steering is, where your ABC, accelerator, brake and clutch is. So this is a way, where we are hiding the important implementation of a car without telling, and uh, letting you use the complete car through the accelerator and the ABCs, which are your accelerator, brake and clutches, to drive the car, turn it left and right, giving the indicators, using the windshield wipers in case there is a rain, right, and so on and so forth. So that particular process, where you do not know how the particular parent class is working without actually defining, how it is working, is called as the abstract class. Now we are providing a very we want to hide something from you. We want to not showcase a particular method to you, and we want to let you use that method also without letting you know what is inside that method. So that particular concept is called as the abstraction mechanism. Now so basically abstract class can be considered as a blueprint of another class. It allows us to create a set of methods that must be created within any child class built uh, from the abstract class, and the class which contains one or more abstract methods is called as the abstract class. The abstract method is a method that has a declaration but it does not have the implementation. While we are designing large functional units, we use the abstract class, and when we want to provide a common interface to a different implementation of a component, we use a abstract class, right? So coming back to the implementation, we already told you why we use the abstract class. So basically we need to define a common application programming interface for a set of subclasses, right? You must have used APIs. I'm talking about the professional developers who in their day-to-day environments try to access different network-based vendors or some other third-party vendors which are having their own set of APIs, where the original vendor or the tool, let's say Aruba, Cisco, Juniper, they would have created their own operating systems, but they hide the very important parts of their operating system, but lets you use the APIs so that you can manipulate their vendors. Let's say if you want to perform the iOS upgrades, or let's say if you want to do a configuration push, if you want to fetch any configuration, they had given you the APIs. So those APIs are getting implemented where they only give you access to certain part of their operating system, but they hide the very specific or important functions, like the what are the threads that are currently being used, so that you do not go ahead and kill them. The CPU and the memory where they do not want you to reach. That is some of the things that they will always keep with them. The basic code base of the vendor, which they do not want you to reveal. So that is why they would provide you they would use the abstraction concept, so that they can hide the important things and give you the access meanwhile, so that you can on a full-fledged basis can use their complete environment, right? Now coming to Python, Python actually does not directly provide the abstract class, but they have a module which is called as the abstract base class, or ABC, from which you can import a module, abstract base class, that is ABC in caps, and then you have to decorate the methods using the abstract method mechanism, right, which we are going to talk about, right? So, and also the method names should be same, otherwise the implementation would be of no use. That we are going to talk about in this particular way. Okay, just give me a moment, we will start. Okay, here we go. uh, So let's say we have to first import the abstract base class. So from abc, so this is the module, import abc comma abstract method, right? Sorry, my bad. Okay, so let me take one class animal and put abc over here, and we are going to decorate this particular method with abstract method. Okay, and then we are going to call it def, let's do lion. Okay, we have to use the self keyword inside the class because that is important and mandatory. It has you instantiate the methods inside the class and you will be able to access the member variables through it. Now I can just put a very small statement, print I am in abstract class. Now I am in abstract class now. Okay, now let's take a child class. I will call the class name as Devakar, or maybe you can take human. Okay, and then we'll call the animal class inside it because that's the parent class. Now we will implement the same method. Okay, def lion, and then we do the self. I do the print I am in child class now, and from here we start going towards the uh, animal class. We call the animal method, which is lion, and that's it. Now I will create the object of the human class. human is equal to human. Okay, and then I call abc.lion. Okay, and run it. Okay, we are missing one. Okay, on 41 line I am missing the self, so let me put the self keyword over here and let me rerun this script once again. Okay, so I am in child class now, has been printed first, you can see, right? And then if I go over here, then you can see that I am in abstract class now. So through the child class only we will be able to call the abstract method, right? And the method name should be same. Now let's say if I put a different method over here like Devakar, okay, and I do Devakar here also, what do you expect will be the answer? Let's run it and find out. So if the method name is not the same that you are implementing into the base class or the parent class in the child class, if the method name is different, then you won't be able to instantiate the abstract class human with the abstract method lion. Okay, so now I need to put up the lion name again. And let me run it again. So that is one way. Just give me a moment. I think I made some mistake over here. Yeah, need to change it here as well. Okay, so now you got the same, now you got the concept that you have to use the same method into the child class to access the method uh, from the abstract base class, and one or more method, which is basically the lion method, which is an abstract method of this parent class or the parent abstract base class or the abstract base class, you can say, right? Now let's say I hash this out, and I try to access this method, which is basically the method animal directly, right? I create uh, another object like def is equal to animal. Sorry, I can't put it def, I can make it defg animal, because def means def, that's a method. So def is equal to animal, and then I would do defg, and I try to call lion from here. Will we be able to call it? Let's see. No. Can't instantiate abstract class animal with abstract method lion, right? So I cannot call it directly. Whatever I need to call inside this particular method, so you can think of this as a car engine, and this is the car's accessories, right? So through the accessories, which is basically the steering, accelerator, brake and clutch, only I would be able to access the engine. Otherwise I won't be able to access it from outside. Like standing outside the car, I can't access the engine, right? Until and unless I forcibly open, and destroy everything and do that, and this, which is not expected, and this is not the right functionality. We have to use it indirectly, right? So now let me hash this out and run it one more final time. This is the child class human, for which we created the object for the child class, okay, to call the abstract base class, calling child method lion, which will in turn call the abstract method lion of abstract base class animal. Okay, save this, run it one more time. We have not changed anything, it's just the comments, and we'll get the right result, right? So I think you got most of the point. So here there is one more concept, like polymorphism, right? So abstraction, you already knew that it hides the complexity and shows the important things. And when you use a car, you just know that you press the accelerator, car moves, press brakes, car stops, without knowing how the engine works internally, that we already talked about. What is polymorphism? So polymorphism means one thing behaves in many ways. Same action, start behaves differently. Okay, car starts with the key, mobile starts with the power button, and a laptop, it starts with the power button, right? Now polymorphism means one interface but multiple behavior. Now, how polymorphism is related to abstraction? Abstraction defines what should be done, and polymorphism defines how it will be done. So what will be done is abstraction, and how it will be done is polymorphism. Simple understanding is abstraction gives a common interface, and polymorphism allows different implementation through the common interface. Okay. So I think this was a very simple concept. The point of today or the intent behind explaining this concept is that most of the developers maybe go into their tenure or through their coding life cycle, they go through the abstraction, but it is very less talked about mechanism, or you would say concept of object oriented programming and structures, but it has a very big and wide implementation which each and every developer should understand. The very common and live example in today's world is the APIs, which is the application programming interfaces, where different vendors, which I will again say, Juniper, Aruba, Arista, Cisco, they will provide you with the third party APIs, or they will provide you with their own APIs which you should be using to develop your scripts either in Python, or you want to develop it in JavaScript, or you want to use APIs through the Ansible. But they are going to hide the important parts of their devices or the operating systems that they have developed for their switches, for their routers, for their servers. They will not be revealing that to you. But the other parts, whether you want to do an iOS upgrade on Cisco, or you want to do a configuration push on a Cisco or Aruba or Juniper device, or you want to fetch some important information from that you will be able to do through the application program interface. So it is nothing but a classic implementation of abstract class, which most of us basically knowingly or unknowingly we tend to learn this, but at some point of time we forget it again and again. So with this I end my session. I thank you all for the time, and hope we will meet into the my next video with some new implementations and with some new concepts. Thank you all for taking the time to view my video. Please like, share and subscribe.